New details tonight in a deadly car crash that happened earlier this month in Effingham County.
The driver accused in the case denied bond in court this morning as a sheriff's corporal took the stand describing what he saw at the scene. WSAV's Isley Herschel was in the courtroom.
Today's court hearing was brief, with a witness from the Effingham County Sheriff's Office taking the stand and sharing what he saw on the scene. Corporal James Mickey says on May 1st he responded to the scene of a car accident on Old Augusta Road. That's where he found 27-year-old Davy Jansasoy getting ready to go to the hospital and 47-year-old Michael Sharp in cardiac arrest. Sharp later died from his injuries. Mickey says after his investigations, he found that Jansasoy was driving under the influence with a blood alcohol level of 0.197. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree vehicular homicide along with 4 other charges. Sharp's family didn't want to speak after today's hearing, but we talked with his wife on her thoughts on the defendant.
He was drunk or intoxicated. From what I understand, he was very highly intoxicated. So that was hard. Many people make poor choices to drink and drive, and it could have been anyone driving the vehicle.
The defendant's bond was not set as he's currently on an ICE hold. Sharp's family told me that they feel this didn't really go anywhere and they're waiting for more to happen in this case. In Effingham County, Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Just into the WSAV newsroom, the Savannah Police Department confirming to WSAV they are on the scene of a death at a local business. It happened in the 2600 block of Seaboard Coastline Drive around 3:40 this afternoon. Officials say there is no threat to the public. We're told OSHA is now the lead investigating agency. We will keep you updated as we learn more on air and online. In Hinesville, police have now identified the teen killed in a deadly shooting at a local park. Hinesville Police Chief Tracy Howard says 18-year-old Jamonte Barnes died after the shooting at Irene Thomas Park Sunday night, where a group of about 25 to 30 teens had gathered. Another teenage girl also shot in the leg. Her condition remains unknown. No arrests have been made.
The South Carolina Senate abruptly ended its session today without passing new election maps. State Senator Tom Davis of Beaufort filed the motion that eventually ended that session. First, though, criticizing the process, calling it rushed, flawed, potentially unconstitutional. Davis says the proposed maps contain multiple errors, including districts that don't exist, and noted the out-of-state consultant who drew those maps testified remotely for less than 8 minutes without taking questions from lawmakers. Davis also said many supporters of the map privately acknowledged it would likely be struck down in court.
Yes, I do think it could be taken up next year or the year following in a deliberative way, in a way that abides by the Constitution, in a way that hears from the people, in a way that relies upon our own legislative analysis, so that we can stand behind the map and say in good faith, we drew these lines in accordance with constitutional principles. We could not say that today on the floor of the Senate in regard to a map that was handed to us 19 days ago.
Meanwhile, more than 25,000 early voters took to the polls today in South Carolina for the first day of early voting. Candidates for governor, Senate, several state house races, and local offices are all on the ballot this year. Election officials reminding voters that early voting sites may not match their election day polling locations, definitely urging people to double check where they need to cast their ballot before they head out.
New at 6, a legal battle is now underway over Savannah's horse-drawn carriage heat rules. The city is being sued by the owners of all 3 licensed carriage tour businesses who claim a new state law prevents Savannah from enforcing its temperature restrictions for horses. The lawsuit claims a newly passed state law signed by Governor Brian Kemp preempts Savannah's heat ordinance. That ordinance, passed by City Council last August, bans horse-drawn carriages from operating when temperatures hit 85 degrees or the heat index reaches 100. The carriage companies argue the new state law prohibits local governments from regulating livestock on public roads, including horses used for tours. Well, the suit also claims the restrictions could face the businesses to shut down or force them to shut down during hot months, threatening the care of 39 horses that depend on tour revenue for food, veterinary care, and stabling. The heat rules sparked heat debate last year, with animal advocates pushing for stronger protections for the horses, while carriage operators said they already humanely care for the animals and warned the rules could cripple the industry.
A new Georgia law could soon give property owners a new way to hold local governments accountable for so-called public nuisances in their communities. WSAV's Jillian Coles joins us now with how that new law works, and the question is, what does it mean for Savannah?
Andrew, supporters say the law is meant to push cities to better address issues like encampments, panhandling, and vandalism, while critics worry it could lead to more legal battles for local governments.
If you have those policies that say you can't do those things, but then local government is refusing to enforce the law around those things, it necessarily devalues the community.
State Representative Jesse Petrie, who co-sponsored House Bill 295, says constituents of his often call saying their businesses are losing property value and potential customers because people feel unsafe due to nearby panhandling or encampments on their property. This bill will now give those property owners the chance to sue local government if they feel laws are not being enforced strongly enough.
And I hope this bill, to your good question, encourages local governments to do better, but not to simply ignore a problem by letting a subset of people violate the rights of the balance of the population in their community, and to devalue their property.
Some are concerned about how the law could potentially impact those experiencing homelessness. When Savannah Mayor Van Johnson was asked about the issue, he said while businesses may not always like it, public spaces are for everyone.
We can't be the hostess city of the South and talk about hospitality, and then we don't show hospitality to people who are here every day. You know, that's not who Savannah is, and that's not what Savannah is going to be. We're just not. If they're not creating a public nuisance, they have the right to public spaces like everybody else.
In order to sue, property owners will have to prove that a person is causing a nuisance and that nuisance is the reason for their issue.
Again, the homeowner's got to prove that there's been a willful attempt to ignore those laws. So it's not an easy bar. But the goal is to hope that local government will simply do their job.
This law is set to go into effect on July 1st. Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3, on your side.